For 7.
It is now 11 o'clock a.m., the deadline for bid submittal. Bid announcements are not final and binding upon the city. They're all subject to review for completeness, accuracy, and compliance with all the terms and conditions provided in the bid specifications. Bidder must bid all line items set forth on the proposal pages, except to the extent that specifications may allow otherwise. Any event that a comparison of the bidder's unit price and/or total price submitted for any line item reveals a calculation error or other discrepancy, the unit price will prevail. The Chief Procurement Officer reserves the right to correct minor math errors and accept minor variances in a bid. This is an e-procurement bid opening. Electronic bids will be read first. While we strongly discourage paper responses, any paper responses received will be read after the electronic bids have been read. Certified water pitchers and replacement filters under spec 1089418. I'm sorry, 1089481. And it's for Stacy Stewart. And our first bidder is for Safeware for $16,270,800. $16,270,800. That is our only bidder, and this concludes the bid opening for today. I think I did. Yep. Thank you.
Just going to give it a few more minutes till 1 p.m. Oh, you could just write, there's a field in there where you could just fill in the general information. Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Sonja Ward. I am the Senior Procurement Specialist with the City of Chicago Department of Procurement Services, and I will be managing the procurement process for a family of 4 specifications, which are specifications 555, 639A, 596, 922A, 596, 935A, and 596, 940A. These represent the drains and city right-of-way repair program, formerly known as the private drain program. Pre-bid conferences are held at the discretion of the city for you, the bidding community, to allow you a forum in which you may ask any questions or get any clarifications you need to submit a formal bid to the city. Today's pre-bid conference will be presented in 2 brief segments. In the first, I'll speak to the bid submittal documents required to submit your formal bid. And in the second, a representative from the Department of Water will speak to the scope of work and answer any of your technical or operational questions as they relate to fulfilling the work requirements. If you have not had an opportunity to obtain the specification documents, you may do so via our website. These procurement projects are to be bid in e-procurement, which is an electronic bid. And again, you may obtain those documents via download once you have registered in iSupplier. The information at this pre-bid does not change or augment the specification in any way. If there are any changes or revisions, they will be issued via addendum from the Department of Procurement Services. Once you have received the bid documents, they will be presented in books 1, 2, and 3. I would like to direct your attention to the document submittal checklist. This can be found in book 2, about 3 pages in. You should use this as a reference when submitting your documents. It gives a full and complete checklist of the items required. I'll briefly go through them just to give you a snapshot. The first item being the schedule of prices. This is where you would enter your unit prices via the e-procurement portal. Item number 2 is your proposal page. This is basically your execution page, whichever applies to you as your corporation, a joint venture, partnership, etc. This is the page that legally binds your company into an agreement with the City of Chicago. Item 3, the affidavit of uncompleted work. This just gives us a snapshot of the other projects that you are currently working on. Item 4, the bid bond. This is a bid bond, 5% of your total base bid to be submitted with your bid, and that bid bond applies to each of the 4 specifications. Item 5, affidavit regarding removal of all waste materials. Again, this item applies to all 4 areas, so you must complete a separate document for each area. Items 7 through 16 represent the MBE compliance portion. Just submit those documents accordingly to the plan that you submit to the city for each area. Item 16 is your online economic disclosure affidavit. Again, this item applies. You must submit 1 economic disclosure affidavit for each area that you submit a bid for. And items 17 through 29, those represent the city's most current bid incentives. If any of those should apply, you must fill out the affidavit according to that of which you are applying for, and it will be evaluated and calculated with your bid. Okay. As of today, the due date for all 4 specifications is 8/13/19. Which is next week. I'm not sure if the Department of Water is considering any extension of that date at this point, but that is, I do believe, being under consideration right now. Each contract term is for 2 years. Again, a 5% bid deposit is required for each submittal. A performance bond will be required in the full amount of your total base bid for each area. The compliance requirements are 26 and 6%. That's 26 MBE and 6% WBE. Oh, and also, As the legal ad states, these specifications are open to mid-sized businesses only. One item we'd like to point out is the bid opening date, which is currently 8/13/19. If you review the limitation of awards language, there are restrictions on how many bids a bidder can receive. And I'll just reiterate what is written. No bidder may be awarded more than 2 contracts, 2 of the 4 contracts. A bidder may submit bids for any and all areas under this family of specifications. Bid requirements such as EDS, insurance, bonding, etc., must be separately fulfilled for each specification. Currently, the due date is August 13th at 11 a.m. Bids will be opened and read by the DPS staff in the bid and bond room in the following order of North, Central, South, and Far South. A contract for each area will be awarded to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. If a bidder is the lowest responsive and responsible bidder for the maximum allowable areas, which is 2, the bidder's bids for the remaining areas, if any, will not be eligible for consideration for contract award under any circumstances, and the city will notify the bidder. Example, if the limit to be awarded is 2 areas, which it is, once the bidder has been determined to be the lowest responsive and responsible bidder for the 2 areas, the bidder's bids for a 3rd and subsequent areas will not be read by the bid and bond room, and the public will be informed at the bid opening of those areas. Okay. As of now, the RFI cutoff is tomorrow. Again, there could be an extension that's not definite yet. But if there is an extension, the RFI period will be extended. Are there any questions related to the bid submittal documents? Yes. Mm-hmm. That is in book 1. It starts on page 128. You're welcome. Any other questions regarding bid submittal documents? Okay, I'll turn it over to the Department of Water, who'll speak to the scope of work.
Good afternoon. From the first bid, there was many changes that we made in terms of the scope of work. Most of the changes came from the Department of Law and DPS side, one being, of course, the name change from private drain program to drain repair right away. Other than that, everything else is pretty much the same because we had already, oh no, I'm sorry, with one exception. We added some EPA requirements in terms of the meeting the ductile iron requirements for the drain. So that might be the only additional change in terms of scope of work, but other than that, everything else is going to be pretty much the same. So when you take that into consideration, that it's included in the contract and the specs, and then we're allowing for that type of work to take place. So we did keep that in mind, so we included it. Once the EPA gave us those restrictions, then we made sure that it was be a part of a pay item for you guys when you use the ductile iron. As before, it was not a pay item in the last contract. So we included that, and we included the traffic safety because that was not included in the last contract as well either. So those are only small changes that we made in terms of the scope. And if you have any other questions, like we did the last time, you just direct them to DPS, and they'll forward them to the department, and the department will respond. And that's it from my side. Yes, just send. No, just send them in writing and forward them to DPS, and they will forward them to the department. Go ahead, Amanda.
Because I was not here for all the parts that you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the original contract
No, it's gonna be in this one. This, yeah, just what I just enunciated, those are gonna be only changes. Everything else is gonna be the same in terms of the scope of work. Yeah, book 3 is gonna be the same except for those few little additions with the ductile iron and the traffic safety control. If it's not too, I'll try to address them if it's not too lengthy, yes. So,
And again, if there are any questions that are not answered to your satisfaction, please put them in writing.
right,
I do have one.
okay, go ahead.
Since we are following the IEPA enforced regulations, and in the event that we cross the water main and we're the 10 feet on the house side, let's say we're 8 feet away from the water main,
Mhm.
are we still doing that in the 20 feet?
Yes, yes. Mhm. And that's why we created the ductile as a line item, so that you will be compensated for whatever ductile you use, whether 6 or 8 inch, you know, for the repair. Because prior to the last contract, it was not included.
For the compensation, in the language it says you pay 1.5 times for the, instead of Dr. being paid as a separate line item, it's paid for like 1.5 times the cost.
Right, exactly.
It's not,
It's not a specific, yeah, but
but it's 1.5.
it's 1.5 times the, it's true,
So
yeah,
it's not separate, right?
yeah. I think there is a separate one too. Yeah, it's a separate.
It says over, but there's a separate line.
But we did, I thought we,
Still stipulates in the book that it's 1.5 times.
That's the old language.
They haven't changed.
and the new one?
Yeah, yes, it still says 1.5.
But I know we created specific 8 inch and a 6 inch ductile iron
I saw
item.
that, but then
In the notes, there is.
Of course, I haven't looked at the book since, since a long. Okay. Yeah, put that in writing, yeah, because we would definitely need to revisit that. Yeah, put that in writing, yeah, because I wasn't aware of that. I knew that there was a 6 and an 8 inch item that was added. We do not want to pay twice. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that out too, and if you put it in writing, I would appreciate it.
So it says, you pay one mobilization per site, I guess.
Correct,
Is
yeah.
there like the, distance parameter?
No,
Okay.
no,
So if there's one, if there's another one close by, a quarter mile down the road, it would follow under the same.
no, if it's a different location, specific location, every location that is permitted, you'll get a mobilization for that. It doesn't matter vicinity or, right, yeah. Of course, we would like to, you know. Yeah, but no, each location that's permitted, then we would have to charge, pay for a mobilization. Yes. You're welcome.
will give the schedule to the contractor which location they're gonna go, or contractor will make their own schedule, you will give us points of the location, because a lot of things were through the police.
We would like to continue with DWM providing the schedule for the contractor. Yeah, we would like to continue with that. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because you guys, you want to do what you want to do, and it doesn't agree with what DWM wants to do.
Yeah, of course, officer likes to do, which is closer to that, before going 2 miles away.
Yeah.
It's done and then go there, but I can agree.
Right, and we're mindful of that, and we always try to create the schedule. You know, if we have stuff that's in the vicinity that's close by, we always try to put them on the schedule at the same time, because it's close by. We don't, you know, because sometimes stuff can get lost in travel. You might stay over on one job, and then you don't want to pay overtime to your guys if they have to get to another location and they can't complete it within the 8 hours. So, yeah, we're mindful of that.
Yeah, one more question, the site mobilization and detailed specification. You know, say what includes the contractor physically verifying the location in the public right of way of the damaged drain to be repaired by Roddy or Kelly by the drain. So Roddy
where the problem is. Mm-hmm.
But you expect the contractor has to go and double check there and make before the center grow? Otherwise, that
Yeah, can you put that in writing? Yeah, because no, we're gonna, because that process has already been done.
yeah, right.
Yeah, so I would appreciate if you put that in writing so we can revisit it, yeah.
Otherwise, we have to coordinate with the homeowner.
No, right, exactly. I don't think, yeah, I don't think that's what the intent of that, yeah, because we don't want you to, you know,
Put that in writing.
yeah, put that in writing.
And another question in that is that, in the payment method, if no rain is required, no rain is required or cannot be located, the contractor will be paid only for mobilization but no other work. Sometimes, let's say, there's a mark in the middle of the street, we go sort particular street out, we cannot find the PD right there because it was marked by the plumber there, we cannot find it there. And we can wasting our time trying to find where it is. Or let's say the EWM decided, okay, forget that, let's move on to the next, work out the restoration, the concrete, the asphalt, and all that stuff. That means we're not gonna get paid for that?
Now, you know that we always, if you go and cut and you can't find it, then we still give you mobilization and we pay for restoration, yeah.
I will ask this to
So put that in writing as well, too, yeah.
Is there a minimum amount of concrete that gets tested or all of it gets tested?
Everything that we use in terms of restoration is CDOT's rules and regs. So you have to be familiar with the,
Square, just one square gets tested.
still has to meet the CDOT's rules and regs. That's what we do, use for restoration.
maybe last question, I may ask you very more, but one last question for that.
Last time he had 40 questions.
You know, backfill
No,
is,
I'm telling
you
you,
know,
right.
when it's CS7, then backfill for that is 6, then you jet it, and then, you know, you CS6, and after use own jetting, you know, that's gonna be like have your own water truck there, and all that, and it's very practical. Do you think it's possible that it can be backfilled with a CS7 all the way?
No, we're not gonna bend on that. We want it just the way the spec reads. We want the 7 and 6, the jet and everything, you know. We want to follow what we're doing in new construction, yeah, because with this 7 all the way to grade, once it starts settling, then it'll dislocate the pipe, and then we'll have to, the homeowner be calling, a year or so later, they have a problem again. So we want to mitigate that, and we want to follow the CDOT rules and regs in terms of the 7, the 6, and then the base and the grade.
Just have to follow the steps, use that.
Yes.
FS6, jet it,
Yeah.
counterthing there,
Exactly,
and then put CS6 on the top bump and all that.
yes. Put it in writing, though.
The
But
exception of that would be if crossing the water main, right, we have to replace stone, form, whatever it is.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
So that would be CS6.
Mm-hmm. Because we had a lot of issues with the 7 to grade. It was, yeah.
What about if the water services are in conflict with there's not the direct separation of work, so are we to move?
This whole will be all of them.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's why we have the ductile there, because you're just gonna have to use ductile. You won't be using any clay, because that's gonna meet the separation. There's nothing we can do about it. That's why we put the ductile. Yeah.
But the service itself, if it's disrupted, where's that? That's
Yeah, you have to have a
larger than
licensed
1
plumber
inch
to fix it.
diameter? Yeah.
Yeah.
But in some locations, the separation is not even 18 inches.
No, it's not. But that's why we're using the ductile. Before we were not. Last contract we did, we just used the clay, even though the water service was there. But now IEPA said we can't do that anymore, so we have to use ductile.
Well, what's the limit of that? Let's say,
Well, it's what's in your trench, your cut. Yeah, you're not gonna go beyond the scope of the job. Yeah, it's just whatever's in the trench.
But
That's what you're gonna.
IEPA says 10 feet, not 8 feet
This is 10 and a half
Yeah.
and 18 inches.
of separation.
But, right, but that's with the water main, but you may not come to the water main. You know, if you come to the water main, yeah, of course, then we're gonna have to do the 10 and the 18. But put that in writing though, so I can make sure that I'm responding correctly. Yeah, because a lot of times you might not expose the water main, just the water service. And then whatever you have in terms of length of the trenches, you know, because I don't think it's gonna make we wanna make you dig all the way to the water main and replace it with duct and all. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, but put it in writing for me though. I could be wrong.
And then if, the water service is in the way, you just coordinate that with the homeowner, right up there, what the disconnect, you repair it,
Yes. Yeah.
just work it out.
Of course, there has to be a license form as well.
Yeah, just work it out.
Yes.
Well, those are all the water issues, so we can get a new service.
Yeah, and that's how you can
New
count.
copper. Yes.
They put a plan to it, that's how it was.
Yeah.
You know, while we're there, we should give them the right way, just saying, or we dig in the hole. Show them that shot. Anna.
No, this is not a water main project.
It's gonna get expensive.
Yes.
I don't have any questions.
Glad we can get in.
Yeah, that process will remain the same. Yeah, we'll do, right. So, thank you very much, men and young lady.
Okay.
Does this qualify for all four areas, or we have to wait for the other one at 2 o'clock?
No, this covers all 4 areas. Yes. We wouldn't put you through this again. If there are no other questions related to the scope, and please, if you have additional questions, if anything wasn't answered to your satisfaction, put them in writing. It covers yourself as well as us. And send those to my attention. You can send those via online discussion in the iSupplier portal or via email. We'll receive them as well. Just ask that you compile all of your questions into one request so that we can quickly get them and efficiently get them to the proper people to address them. And again, if there's an addendum, it will be issued by our office, hopefully in the next week or before the original due date. Also, the attendees list that was collected here today will be uploaded or will be provided within 24 hours. Okay? Thank you for attending.